Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I'm a bit late, but I'm interested. No, I'm not interested. I just find it funny that this one, I'm waiting by my husband. I know you're, but hey, rented identity-san, jeez, celebrating my Bitcoin profits. Oh, that's great. You're an expert on that. I'm supposed to sign up for one platform so that someone can send me stuff, but I haven't finished the setting. Which reminds me I should do that like today. Like putting in all this personal information is like something I hesitate to do, but I know that it's a safe one, so I need to. But anyway, that's awesome that you get profits with Bitcoin. And thank you so much for sharing that with me. Thank you always for your support. And it's funny that my husband said, I'm waiting, and rented identity-san reacting, and my husband correcting the kanji, the Chinese looking character. Anyway, let me clear my heart. Oh, okay. Scott. Hi, Yoko. Hi. Benjamin. Konnichiwa, sumimasen. I missed the stream last week. Oh. No, I'm gonna bite you. Just kidding. Random Yoko. Hey, where are you at? I was in there. Putting on my makeup and so on. But anyway, why am I fired? Hazu-san. Hello. I just got lucky. Like a little people. That's cool. Ooh, our politician friend from Okinawa sent me super chat. Thank you. ありがとうございます. Oh, ありがとうございます. You guys follow him or subscribe to his channel if you can. He's a politician, former JSDF, Japan Self-Defense Force guy, and he's now a politician in Okinawa, and he's one of our good friends. So that's cool that he's watching. Yay! Yes. I feel like my nose is running. No, nose is running. We don't need your you don't need your makeup. We all know how you look without it. That's so true. But I still use like the editing software, which like fixes my skin. It's so great. Like nowadays, they have all these filters that makes you look beautiful, even without a makeup. You're following him. I found him through your Twitter. Oh, that's cool. Yay, thank you. So what should I talk about today? I don't know what's hot. Like what is the big topic in the US? Over here on Friday Japan time, when Biden made a speech, this is what happened on the front page. It's Biden. Again, we proceed, or whatever. I don't know the English expression he used, but yeah. Biden in your face. And yeah, it's just talking about the points that he made, that there's a Biden administration will fight against China, like it's a competition, and autocracy will not win the future. America is moving or going forward again. I don't know the expression he used, but about Indo-Pacific, like military cooperation and infrastructure and trade. And what what our newspaper said is that usually this kind of speech this, I don't know what it's called in English, but this speech is something that usually presidents talk about the domestic politics of America. But this time, Biden talked about China a lot, which is rare. And for me, coming from Asia, it's a great thing. But yeah, over here in Japan, it's a huge topic. But I don't know. All I saw though on Twitter, for example, from American people was how Biden is trying to raise your tax, and that's pretty much all I saw that day. I don't know. What's your reaction to Biden's speech or Biden administration in general? Hello, Yoko and chat. Haven't watched in a while. Oh, welcome back. He has to go. See you. Biden. Yes, good. No, it's actually a he, but I rely on you to tell me what's going on in the US because I don't want to look at the news. I'm not even reading my Epoch Times lately when it arrives. Boring Biden. Yeah. It's I understand that feeling. It's the same here. I haven't seen today's newspaper yet, but I saw that America is withdrawing the military from Afghanistan. Yeah, that's something I see. But that's the thing, like I am not familiar with like Middle East or areas around there. Because I am so Asian in Asia. Yeah. But it's good though that is it just me, but internationally, like all this diplomacy or what's it called, like a national security and so on, it's on the same direction and a continuation of Trump administration. I feel like I don't know why. What do you guys think? In the meantime, in Japan, it says that the revision of our constitution, there was a poll, and 57% are interested. Yeah, the revision of our constitution. It's like 69 people are interested, and those who said that we need the revision is 24%. So if you add that up, or I don't know how to calculate. I can't do math. But yeah, like many people are now interested, so that's good, but only 24% is like they feel that it's like essential. And if asked whether or not we need it, then some people, like 42%, think that we need. And yeah, stuff like that. We need to do something about our opinion, or public opinion here. But okay. In the meantime, you guys wrote something. Whew, okay. Stupid speech by a stupid old man is my take. Oh my god. That's so harsh. I don't know. Like, at least, I don't know. I think, of course, I come from another country, so all I'm interested in, like most of the things I'm interested in, is how America deals with countries outside of America. At the same time, of course, I do care about the American politics, like domestic politics, because, when America destroys the middle class or something like that, and if America's economy falls, then Japan, for example, my country, is very dependent on America. And I know that it's our fault, but we're so close to America that when American economy falls, our economy falls. So it's not something like we can't regard America as just another country. It's the country that we depend on. So yeah, for China, I bet that it's easy that we are tied like this because they attack one country and then we fall together. So yeah, Biden's speech was as I expected, trying to act like the harbinger of unity and lying about his intentions. What do you think his intention is on 9/11 allegedly? Do you have any upcoming events scheduled? I think my husband is supposed to speak somewhere in Tokyo soon, but at the same time, we are planning something. I think we're planning a few different projects against China, but yeah, just demonstrations like protests and so on. But it's coming soonish, I think. Yeah. I've been confused lately because my husband has a lot of projects. He has a lot of projects against CCP, and I am his political partner in addition to being his wife. And I listen to him talk like about all these projects, but there's so many of them, like similar stuff, like all are against CCP. And I get confused, like which is what? Like, oh, you're talking about this project or that project? Like I get confused all the time. But anyway, the hottest one, it's raining. Oh my gosh. The hottest topic right now for us is the National Diet Resolution against China. We are trying to pass this resolution to condemn CCP's human rights oppression against Tibet, Uyghurs, and Mongolia, and Hong Kong. And which is a great thing, but there are some conservatives and right wings online, or rather opinion leaders, that say like, it's not good enough. Our goal is to just to pass it, just so that we can start from there. But there are some people that are attacking the resolution. So we're fighting against it too. Anyway, VBDC, thank you for your super chat again. It's Yoko time. Yes. Since you asked about Biden, I believe he is a fake president. Voting audits will likely reveal Trump as the legitimate election winner. I have no idea what happens after that. Yeah, there's always that perspective. I wonder how Trump is doing. Did he sometimes go on Fox News and so on, right? But I don't get to see him anymore, or rather he is blocked from social media and everything. So that's really bad. And it's like, you just all this blocking and so on is so annoying because you want to hear every perspective, like especially those who are involved, and it's up to those who watch or hear all these voices, right? But it's like media chooses who you should trust or believe, and it's just annoying. Like, please stop babysitting us, That's what I think. But anyway, thank you for your super chat, and I really appreciate your support always. And guys, he has a talk show on Instagram, I believe, so check him out and do all the discussions that you Americans do. That's love. Thank you for super chat again. As always. Sorry, I'm like finding Dada's love. Okay, Dada's love. I always forget. Dada's love. Super chats affect rankings. Really? Oh, super chat is nice. This is what I do. So I know that I should make like English videos as well. I started to post Japanese videos sometimes, so that's a step forward. And next I need to make English videos. But I don't actually know what to talk about in English videos because it's not like we're in the middle of presidential election. I come from another country, and on a daily basis, I don't know. I don't know like which news to pay attention to, or maybe I could talk about identity politics. I don't know how if that's worthy though. I don't know. What are you guys interested in? I've been following the Japanese mainstream media, and they say the UN is pressuring Japan to change their immigration law. I think it's wrong to pressure another country. Your thoughts? Yeah, it's I didn't even know. Like, there's always a pressure from Western countries in general, and by Western, I believe it's the liberals overseas rather than like Western countries in general. But yeah, we hear that all the time, that how Japan is behind, and like basically like liberals overseas, they impose their values onto Japan. And sometimes I see this ranking of like for example, like female workers in the world, like there's a ranking and Japan is so behind, like 100 something or whatever, and they say that we are behind, but it's like we have a different set of culture, right? So like why, like how could you compare? And immigrants too, like immigrant policy, it's coming in from the inside of our country as well, like especially the current government led by LDP, Liberal Democratic Party. They push this immigrant policy sometimes, and every time we oppose, and it disappears. But they do have this policy right now, though, I believe, that the foreigners with special skills or expertise can come to Japan with a better like a good condition or whatever. But the thing is, the foreign workers don't meet the criteria because we are so strict and we expect like very high level. And it's like the last time I checked, it was like 6% done, and it was not close to our ideal number, and which was good for us conservatives. But yeah, and every time we have this immigration policy, like all this agenda whenever it rises up, where was I going with this? It's like, oh, it's about the economy. So basically their narrative is that our economy is bad, so let's hire people from overseas in Japan so that we can hire them with a lower cost, and that's how we can do the business and blah blah blah. But it's like that's not the way to solve the problem, right? In Japan, like in the past administration, during Abe administration, the government raised our consumption tax twice. It was first, was it? Oh yeah, it was first 5%. That was a big deal too. But then 8% and then 10%. Currently it's 10%, the consumption tax. And that damaged our economy so much. Like Abenomics, I don't know if you are familiar, but there was Reaganomics, and our former minister took it from there, and he had Abenomics, and encouraging the economy. But then he raised the consumption tax at the same time because of the pressure by the Ministry of Finance, and our economy just stopped growing, or rather it started to go worse. And then COVID-19 happened. It damaged our economy even worse. And yeah, and our government at the time was like, blaming COVID-19 for the for our economy falling down, but it was actually the consumption tax in to begin with, and so on. But anyway, so they do all these things, and at the same time, and it's not like people always talk about conspiracy theory, but in Japan it's rather that like power struggles between ministry and government and all these companies and so on, there are always power struggles. So things like that happen. Like our government's policy they're not coherent, and they contradict often. And I believe those are due to our power struggles. And in order to do something about it, in order to fix that, our government wants to get workers from overseas. And there are actually more and more foreign workers, especially we have these stores like 7-Eleven type of stores, which we call convenience store because it's convenient, it's 24/7 open. So yeah, the convenience store. And grocery stores too. There are lots of foreign workers today, especially like exchange students and so on. And I am friends with foreign people here in Japan, especially those who are oppressed by CCP. They fled to here. And even though I'm a conservative, I'm more tolerant and open to like foreign people living in Japan, especially because conservatives here, like our traditional way of thinking is that the world is under one roof. So we are not racist or anything, and we don't, even though we do respect our blood so much, at the same time we are indeed open to other cultures or races. However, it's just by that Japanese people are affected. There are Japanese people that are going poor and so on. So that's something that we need to think about. And so I rambled out a lot, but I don't know, maybe the question that you asked was more about the pressure by the world. But yeah, that just came out of my mind right now. I hope that it fit your thoughts. Do you live in Japan? If yes, what part? I live in Fukuoka Prefecture in Kyushu Island. So it's southern. And whenever I say that, people ask me like, oh, is it like warm because it's in the south? Like there's 4 main islands, right, in Japan. 4, and then Okinawa in the south, like mainly. And then our Kyushu, where my prefecture Fukuoka is in, it's in the south. So people expect that it's supposed to be warm, but no, it's facing the Sea of Japan, like close to China and Korean Peninsula. So, and the wind is cold there. On the other hand, on the Pacific side, it's warm, right? So our Kyushu Islands prefecture, half of it, like on the Pacific side, it's warm, but like us, like Fukuoka and all the other places, it's cold. Like it's not cold, but it's not warm. So yeah. Anyway. Yes. Okay. Biden start war with Russia. Will he would? He will? I don't know. He is still like, I could understand though, like I don't know, like there are why would he, like if he, let's say that he does try to get into war with Russia, I would say the reason why would be is because he wants to blind everybody with the ties that he has with CCP. And another will be that he is so old that he hasn't gotten out of the atmosphere that their biggest threat is Russia due to like the Cold War era. And that's something that I would imagine. But Russia, though, it's such a tricky country that they, especially Putin, is just so good at what he does that he has so much power. It's crazy. But the thing about that sort of like dictatorship countries, the what's difficult about it is that you think that the dictator at the time is so awful, but then if you get rid of the leader, then the person that comes after him can be even worse. So like you can't really calculate that, and that's the difficult part about politics, I feel. Russia. Japanese people are so brainwashed by the propaganda by Russia, and our northern islands, like up north of Hokkaido, like our like northern island, like literally, those are occupied by Russia illegally, and Japanese conservatives, even though that's the situation, because of the propaganda by Russia, um, they somehow believe that Putin is on our side. There's this conspiracy theory. Like the picture changed a little bit now because Trump is gone, but they used to say, oh, this conspiracy theorist here would say that there's this government in the dark, like internationally, and Putin, Trump, and former Prime Minister Abe, they're in a team and they're trying to fight against the globalists in the world. I'm like, that makes zero sense. But people are just dumb. And that's something that I have to bear with for years now. But now our leaders change, so it's a little different. But yes. Anyone saw the picture of Ted Cruz fell asleep during Biden's speech? Was it Ted Cruz? I did see somebody like falling. It's not falling asleep, but he was like, like right in the front row. So that was interesting. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is the another one. Wait. Oh, let me check the comment. Oh, BBDC is another super chat. Oh, thank you so much. My favorite daily videos of yours were not political, they were cultural observations. Oh, I remember one you did about the psychology of an American TV show that I found so interesting. Let me see. Oh, actually, I've been thinking about doing a video about Netflix shows, like my favorite ones and what I think about it, like brief analysis of what I think about each shows and why I like those shows and so on. I should do that. Yeah. Because I'm into entertainment and all this like cultures. Culture. That's a good perspective. I should do that. Thank you for your input. I will do that so that you won't have to miss it. I will talk about culture. Yeah, cultures are so interesting, especially because so I support all these Asians that are fighting against CCP. I am close friends with them. We are together all the time. Like I feel like they're my family. And at the same time, when we're working closely, we sometimes, like after each event, like protests and so on, we get together after that and have a little like dinner party or something. It's not like a party, but we get together and talk to each other because it's a important opportunities for us to get together in person nowadays. So last time we went to this restaurant, like Tibetan restaurant, and other time we went to Korean restaurant, and each time it's like ethnic, and we get to experience the culture, like different cultures. And then like especially the last time we went to Tibet, and so the Tibetan guy was explaining the food, oh, this is this and that, and Tibetans do this and that, and it's like a good cultural experience and lessons. And it's a bright side of activities like this, fighting together against CCP. Anyway, another super chat. Thank you. How are entrepreneurs viewed in Japan? Do you know any Japanese organization that help start international business with the US? Oh, I wish I knew. Japanese organization that help international. I'm afraid I'm not familiar. No, I don't think I know. Sorry, but how are entrepreneurs viewed in Japan? it's a cool thing, but we don't have the guts to be that. Everybody just follows what's already there. And I feel like Japan's power, like we have companies like Sony and Nintendo or whatever, like I don't even know, like Honda or Toyota, like there are all these big companies, but after the baby boomers, our people in the, how old are they? Like 70s or so now? That generation, like they were born right after the war, like after it ended. And after that, they just had a good time. Like it was tough rebuilding our country, but it's mostly the generation above them that rebuilt our country, like economy wise. And so those generations above our baby boomers are the hardworking ones, right? And then baby boomers, of course they worked hard too, but how we like not past, like generations below them, we feel that those generations just had so much fun because the economy just kept going better and better. And also we did have inflation, and so there was a bubble, and then it exploded when I was like very little. Like I think I was like maybe like 6, 7, or 8 or something like that. I don't even remember. But when I was little, the economy was so good, and the money didn't even mean much. And they were having fun, partying so hard, going like traveling everywhere. And yeah, and so after that, our economy just like sank down. So we've been having a hard time since then, especially because our government, as I said earlier, our government tries to fix the economy, but then they do the opposite. So it's like going forward and backwards at the same time. So we are remaining in the same place for decades. And all we can do is, culturally, we are taught that we need to read the atmosphere, like read the room, and respect where you are, all the surroundings. And so we don't do like special things. If there's even a saying in Japanese too that I wish. Is there any? Hold on. Let me see. The nail that sticks out gets hammered in. That's we have the Japanese version of that. So like when we stand out, we get crushed easily. Even in political field, I'm just an opinion leader, right? And then the people just come try to press me down. And so entrepreneurs or something that it's hard in the Japanese society, I feel, especially because like big companies, it's not as big as America, for example, of course, but rich people do have power and it's so hard for newcomers to get in. But what's cool about Japan is that we have natural disasters and even like COVID-19 situation too. Like when there are problems, Japanese people are like, we invent stuff. So sometimes like new business style and so on come together, and it becomes a new thing. But it's not like it becomes huge. I hear that, for example, like this question reminds me of Hong Kong. Like Hong Kong is now completely colonized by CCP, and all this, how Hong Kong was like, it's a what's the word? I don't even know the. Gosh, my vocabulary. Finance, just finance. Okay, the finance. Hong Kong is like finance place, right? And then all these workers, they are now looking for somewhere else to work. But then I read like when there was the national security law passed and so on, A lot of people from Hong Kong tried to escape or to move to somewhere else. And we were expecting, like as Japanese people, we kind of expected like, oh, maybe Hong Kongers will come here and work and so on, especially those who are skilled in finance and so on. But what happened was that Japan is not a good place to work, and especially for finance. For some reason, I am not an expert on this, so I can't really speak. But in general, though, like Japan is such a, like, I think it's just a hard place to work. Not just culturally, but like our social structure probably has some kind of problem. I need to look into that, but yeah. But I bet that if you have the uniqueness, though, like you can easily win in this society. Japanese people just don't have the guts. But if you need international help, like help for international workers, I don't know. There should be something. Anyway, thank you for your super chat. It was interesting to think about. Oh, another super chat. America recently became a dictatorship. How half of the nation is trying to purge the other half. How do we save America and the world? Thank you for your super chat. Firstly, it's like America is so divided, man. But it's interesting though, because I've been studying English since like 15 years old. I just went to regular schools and then I went to this university to study English even more, like as my major. It was a language school type university. Like the university is for like foreign languages, and my major was English. And what I learned in this class, and it was taught by Americans and some Australians and so on too, but my American teacher or professor taught us how to debate, and the topics were like gun control, birth control, and all these issues. Like it is even in like early 2000, I went to university from 2004 to 2008. So I believe like Bush era or so, like junior. Yeah. And then, the division was already there. It's like, it was so just interesting that it's a set, like, it's expected that there is supposed to be those who, insist and then oppose. Like it's, the division is there, and that's the premise. And that was what's interesting about it for me personally. Why is it so divided? But I have to say though, I have to be kind of critical of Trump administration about COVID-19, because I feel like Trump could have done better. Like the mask controversy, if he didn't create that, like if he didn't emphasize on mask so much, then his administration could have done better or survived better. I feel like it's just something that what I see from another country, but I saw the American blood in that controversy, that Americans they have in the blood to fight. And it can be very extreme, and that's how I felt. No offense, it's a cool thing that Americans just get lit, like they go on fire, like fight, like rah! And Japanese people have lost it, so it's cool. But yeah, man, America, the division, man. I think in order to overcome division, though, you have to realize that there are people that are agitating the division, because it's something that's happening to my country. CCP or communists in general, they always try to divide our country by saying there are many different ways to do it. But one example is they always bring the picture of the rich or those who are in power versus the citizens. Like it's a typical communist way of thinking. But yeah, they always try to divide us from, even though we are working as a whole, communists always try to label us into group, like to differentiate us from each other. And yeah, so they always emphasize on the rich people, but rich people doesn't really work in Japan. That way of picture doesn't really work, because it's not like America. Like, rich people are there, but not as rich as America. So usually, it's the government, or it's the national diet members, or it's the CEO of this company, and they try to picture this like really dirty scandal and so on, and then they divide them from the citizens and so on. And at the same time, they divide right and left. But right now, the activities that my husband and I are doing against China is we are actually uniting the right and left so that we can win against China. What that means is that conservatives or right wings here in Japan, they dislike the concept of human rights and so on, just because it just feels like leftist. So whenever they hear like human rights, they instantly think of the human rights of Chinese people or Korean people living in Japan, meaning that it's threatening Japanese people. So they have the allergy, like human rights. Let's not talk about that. Let's not support that, But us conservatives, or those of us that are fighting against CCP, we talk about freedom, independence, and human rights of all this Asian nation states, and we are just agree on all these concepts, especially human rights. And when we talk about human rights from the right side, the left side have no choice but to cooperate with us. So we are very close to, like, even our super liberal newspaper, they are very cooperative. Like, they are the partner company of the New York Times. And but our liberal newspaper that are tied with New York Times and so on, they cooperate with us because we are talking about human rights, and that's our narrative that we are using. And yeah, so we are uniting. So CCP can't do anything about us. Like, they can't divide us because we agree on one thing. So I think that America really needs to, if I were American, for example, BLM riots were really awful, but I would just try not to expand that controversy, even though I was talking about it. Now I come to think of it, I feel like we should focus on education and also on, like, what's the core values that everyone can agree on inside of America. And that's something that you should focus on, so that, like, they can't, get in between, if you know what I mean. I can't explain well, but anyway, I rambled a lot. And thank you for your super chat, Daniel. Have you or your husband watched Jindo Wolf Brigade? Just watch it. Interesting movie. Why does it sound familiar? I don't think we have seen it. Is it an anime, or there? I just googled, and there are, or no, there's an anime version and then the regular movie version. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Was it good? Interesting movie? Okay. I should check it out. What did I watch recently? Wait. Just the other day, my husband and I watched this movie. It's Munich. Is it, the pronunciation is Munich? It's let me show you, because I can. It's 44 minutes now. 15 minutes more to go. Let me show you the. Oh, no, sorry. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to show you my screen or window. Share screen and window and this one. Okay. I saw this movie. Munich? Is it Munich? Oh, it's in Japanese, but you see here, it's about the Munich Olympics in 1972, and Israel athletes were held hostage, and then like they fight each other from there. It was very interesting, especially I think about um, the coming not only Tokyo Olympics but Beijing Olympics as well. So my husband and I, we watched this. You should watch it. It's a great movie. It's Spielberg movie, and I don't know. Some of you may have phobia for like Jewish people, but it was a good movie. Okay, and sorry, I'm skipping a lot. Hello, hello. I hate the Olympics. It's so crazy, man, that before I was born, such a tragic incident happened in Germany. Was it Germany? Munich? Uh, oh, la la la. Let me read your comments. China and Russia know that communist doesn't work, which is why they are both becoming more capitalist. That's a good point. But they are pushing communism on America because they see it as a threat and want it destroyed. Yeah. It's interesting that communists are not being completely communists. Yes. But the communist agenda, though, the brainwashing, it really works to stop people from having thoughts, and they just obey you, right? And all this equality and so on. Why are people so stupid to fall for that, though? Like, why do you believe in equality? Like, it's so hard for me to understand. Like, I don't want equality. All I want is fairness, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm a woman, and I want to be treated as a female because I have a female body and I can't function the same as males, and therefore it affects my work uh, ability and so on. So then I want to be treated as that, right? And why would people want to believe that? Like, they don't have the mentality to accept the reality. So crazy, man. So crazy. And I want you to know, though, that like, maybe just because I speak English, I may seem special. But if you get rid of the language barrier of here, Japanese people have the same opinions as I do. I'm not. I am sort of a smart person who can see broadly, but aside from that, like our values are the same in Japan mostly. Like, Japanese people have like Japanese characteristic and our way of viewing based on our cultural values. And so, yeah, the rain is so hard. Heavy rain. Mm-hmm. The media is a root of all division in the US. I agree. Yeah, send me here right now. I feel like, yeah, somebody talked about the UN like pressuring us, but yeah, our media often talks about, is it SDG? Like, there's this new thing. What the hell is SDG to begin with? DS? SDG? Oh yeah, Sustainable Development Goals. Yeah, I hear that often lately from the TV. Yeah, it's like, this is the thing about like leftists. They make up this weird phrase, and make everyone follow that, but in reality it's like communist based agenda and so on. And especially because Japan has the language barrier, we have problems. Mm, 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 mm. Let me see your comments. Max says, I went to a Japanese language class when I was in the 8th grade. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, some people did take Japanese language class. That's cool. It's really amazing whenever we hear like foreign people speaking just a bit, even just a bit of Japanese. We're like, whoa, we don't expect that, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, the only thing CCP understands is control. I agree. Man, Moon, it's not Moon. Xi Jinping though. I wonder. Isn't it crazy to think about? Like, so China has all this huge population, right? And then Xi Jinping is on the top, and he's been on the top for a long time now. But there are other like very strong people inside of like the Chinese Communist Party, and there are power struggles. Everybody wants to be the top, but somehow Xi Jinping is in the top seat, and I'm like of course I can't think of him as a human for what he is doing against all these agents and so on. But at the same time, I'm like, how does he do that? Like it's so crazy when you think about the power side of China. Like, how is that possible? Kind of thing. Like, he must be really, really brutal, you know? Oh, man. China's economy is growing despite people seeing the CCP for what it is. Can this ever be stopped? China's going to keep growing, I feel, and dwarf us all. Yeah, it's I used to think that China, manipulates the number that they announce and so on, so therefore they are smaller than they say and so on, but they are growing, and that's a fact. And on a daily basis, like I'm not too familiar with like economic side because I'm not like that's weakness and the problem of Japanese conservatives. We are so interested in national security, but we are so ignorant on economy. So yeah, that's something that I need to learn. But on a daily basis, everything that I try to buy is made in China here in Japan. And yesterday I just saw this cheap um, AirPods, like the earphone-ish thing with a my husband just screamed. I hope he is alive. Like he just screamed like crazy. But anyway, yeah, I bought something yesterday, and then it was made in China again, and stuff that I see, they are all made in China mostly. Sometimes USA, but man, China is dominating, especially after this COVID-19 pandemic. They've been taking advantage of that. What can we do? What we can do is to exclude them from our economic network, I feel. But if we go too extreme, then they would just form all this network with the countries on their side. So then we won't be able to get the information and so on. That's the thing. Like if we interact with each other on some level, then even though we are kind of feeding our enemy at the same time, we are getting all this information behind the scenes and so on at the same time. So it's not all bad. So if we all shut out all our connections, it seems like it's ideal, but then we might be losing something as well. So yeah, especially because we don't want division in the world, I think. It's really difficult. I'd rather want to hear everybody's opinion on that. Like, how do we stop? Hey, Yoko, it's been a couple months since I have caught a stream. Oh, how has China been toward Japan since Biden has been in power? Nothing has changed. Unfortunately, they have been about Japan. They've been coming into our our waters around Senkaku Islands every day. Like I keep seeing the newspapers saying like, oh, Chinese ships or vessels have been entering our waters around Senkaku Islands, like, for example, 30 days in a row and so on. Like, they sometimes stop and then again every day. So they keep coming back, and yeah, they are onto our islands, and at the same time, it's not on the sea, but in the airspace as well. They always come by plane, and our battle aircraft has to go like do so-called scramble. Is it scramble or scramble? Like, I don't know the pronunciation. Let me look it up. Scramble hashin. Hashin. How do you say that? Scramble or scramble? Okay. Scramble. So yeah, it's annoying that we don't have enough budget for our national security. Like, it doesn't meet the international standards, and it's really low. Our national security like budget is low, but then China keeps entering our airspace and ocean, and what that means is that our self-defense force is fighting back to protect, right? But in order to do that, we are actually using our fuel and cost, each day for a few times. And so it's like the expense of our cost. So it's really, really bad. If only we had, like, for example, nuclear weapon or some sort. It's like America wouldn't allow that though, for us to have the nuclear weapon. Isn't it crazy that India has one and we don't? It's like Japanese people. So weird. わからない英語あったら日本語で言っていいよ。俺が翻訳してみる。ありがとう。Thank you for rented identity saying that he can translate the words that I'm not familiar with. Have you seen the documentary Princess of Yen? No, I don't think so. What is it about? I would die for my freedom. Yeah. Oh man. Did I catch all the super chat? Sometimes I'm paying attention, but this gamer kid is like my favorite. Cute. I've been playing Call Mobile, COD Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, and I have lots of friends now. It's so like young people though, like teenagers and people in the 20s and so on. I'm in the 30s, so I'm like their parents. But these kids are so cute. My name is Yoko from Japan. Every single video. Yes, I need to introduce myself. If you guys make me famous, then I wouldn't have to say that. But yeah. Wait. Oh, I need to go like now, guys. Any last question? Socialist doesn't want Japan to have nukes. Yeah. Exactly. And also, I don't think America in general would allow Japan to have nuclear weapons because it would be a threat. Like a possible threat, I think. Like, I would understand that. Like America probably right now, like today, America wants Japan to be like, they want Japan to do something about Asia, like, keep Asia in order. But at the same time, America doesn't want Japan to have too much power, because then it leads to the problem of hegemony, right? So, or leadership in general. Yeah, Japan needs a nuclear weapons, and thank you. Like, if you guys say that from outside, then Japanese people can start talking about it. We can't even talk about it now. Like, we are not allowed to have the discussion about nuclear weapons or wars in general, because of the education and media bias here. Like, we can't even talk about it, but we obey the Western world. When we are pressured by the West, we have no choice but to listen and be open. It's just how it is. Like, there's no logic. It's just how it is. We are so weak when it comes to the pressure from the outside. And even if I say the same thing as people overseas, my opinion is not respected. People listen to those who are overseas, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. And I hear that Japan does have the ability to make nuclear weapons, like right now. And it's just that we are just not making. But yeah, we can't even discuss, so it really sucks. If China invades us here in Japan, I'll volunteer to fight those communist bandits to the teeth and bone. Japan doesn't have reserves in case of a shooting and a parachute war. True. Yeah. Japanese people. I feel like when I learn about history, or just think about history in general, I feel like the Japanese people that the world has known, the Japanese soul or spirit, I feel like it has been gone. Like, I feel like our the real, like, genuine Japanese people all died in the World War II. I feel like that's something that I feel. It's not correct, but that's just how I feel. The Japanese people today are different from the Japanese people back in the day, like different species. Oh man, especially males today. They're so weak now. Like, no wonder I don't get attention from guys here. They're just so weak, you know. And for that, for example, all I know is about America. Like, I've studied a lot about American culture and so on by myself. And all I know is about America. But for example, American guys, the masculinity is there, you know. But on the other hand, well, it's partially traditional too, I think. But like, Japanese guys are so, like, it's not. They're so girly now, especially young kids. I'm like, why? Why do you have to go that way? Like, I want manly man in my country. A lot. Those who that stay now, they're just cute looking guys that don't have muscles. I don't know what to think about it. Anyway, it's been an hour, so I should go. Sorry, if I missed your questions or comments. We have only 10 years until China takes over the world. They want everyone to know China. They win the Great War and take over Taiwan to get revenge. Yeah, Taiwan and Japan are the next target. Oh, lastly, I'm gonna show you the picture. or maybe I should show on the website, the website. This is too small, maybe. I don't know if you can see. Oh, it's too small, right? Can you see the picture? It's the picture that was tweeted by the Chinese embassy in Japan, talking about America. If America had democracy, this is what happens. And this is actually the parody or just a copy of the CCP version. This is basically this. Why is it called in Shinigami? Shinigami, nani? The Grim Reaper or God of Death? Reaper? Yeah. There's this Reaper knocking on the door, and there's a blood on each door, so meaning that the country is now like slaughtered and taken over and so on. And the original picture is the Asian version where CCP knocks on your door, and all this Tibet, Uyghur, and so the Mongolia, or Hong Kong, they gets all the blood, and they are taken over by CCP. But then Chinese embassy posted the American version, criticizing America, and they can't. And they've been posting all this like copy stuff. They copy our traditional art from hundreds of years ago, and it's the motif is the ocean, and they are using, and they say like, oh, this Chinese artist recreated the traditional art of Japan, and it's the ocean, but they use that to criticize our the nuclear disaster in Fukushima area. And they've been using all this like copy images to do all this propaganda. And this American one, though, they took it down soon enough because they're so afraid of America, probably. But against Japan, like the propaganda against Japan, they don't care because they know that we're not going to do anything. And yeah, so that's what's happening. Copy and paste, that is what China does best. Yeah. Ah, man. China. Is that tweet from Chinese embassy? They deleted after getting roasted. Yes. Yes. So, yeah, international eyes are important, I think. The Grim Reaper meme. Yes. There are many different ways. Grim Reaper. Okay. Thank you, English teachers. I have many English teachers here. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yay. Okay. My stomach is making a noise. Can you guys hear? My stomach is hungry, so I need to go now. Thank you for sticking till the end. I'm sorry if I didn't pick up your question or comments. I wanted to, of course, I always want to take up as many as possible, but today I think I rambled too much. But I hope you still enjoyed this. And if you want to talk more, follow me on Twitter at randommyoko if you haven't already. And this is a weekly Q&A, so I will have another live stream next week. Yep. Okay, so thank you guys. I will go now. So yeah, most of you are going to bed, I think. So yeah, good night. Good night, feeding time. Have a good day. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna eat now. Thank you, Hidetoshi, for letting her come. That's a nice comment. Easter lunch? Oh, I see. That's cool. That's cool. Happy Easter. Good night. Good night. I really appreciate every single one of you. Okay, I'm gonna go. So thank you again, guys, so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Okay, I'm gonna cue the outro. Okay, bye.